here are 5 mistakes I made when I first started couponing. So I want to say I really started couponing approximately 8 years ago or so. I'd been complaining about some financial issues that I was having, and this friend kept saying, you need to coupon, you need to coupon, you need to coupon. So I was kind of like, all right, fine. You know, there's coupons available. I might as well start doing my research, figure out what I can do, and start saving some money. And I didn't really realize how uneducated I was about couponing and how much it takes. So the first thing that kind of deterred me from it was that I was very unimpressed at the difference it actually made in my grocery bill. I didn't even know about cashback options. I did not know anything about rebate apps. I did not know about cashback opportunities, nothing like that. And the coupons I was using were pretty much just the store coupons. So there was no combining of coupons. I really was not doing what I needed to do to get the best deals. So while it's understandable that I felt the way I felt, it was mostly just not really understanding how I was supposed to go about doing this. So if you've just started couponing and you're a little unimpressed by what you're saving, just try to make sure you're really doing everything you can to get the most out of these deals. Because if you're not paying enough attention, if you're not being thorough enough, you might be leaving money on the table. The next thing that deterred me from couponing is that most of the coupons I was finding were just not for me. Either they were exclusive to a store that I don't go to that often, or maybe there's not one close to me. They were for items I'm just not going to buy. I guess now I look at it as if the only coupons available at a store or at this particular time or whatever are things that are not for me, I just kind of let it roll off my shoulders. I'll get the deals next time, or I'll save more money on my next trip. It doesn't really need to be a big deal. But when I first started, I would get really hung up on it. And it just felt so unfair that it's like everyone else seems to be saving money this way, and it's like I'm the only one who can't. It's just one of those things you have to just not take personally. And as you learn more about couponing and how to save money in general, you're going to see progress. The third thing that deterred me from couponing was that it felt over. It kind of seems silly to say now, but like I feel like when you've been doing it a while, it feels very simple and very straightforward. And a lot of this stuff is just not simple and straightforward to people. Especially sometimes manufacturers or whatever company puts these coupons out will word it in a way that is very confusing. So sorting through all of that and having to ask questions, or sometimes being in store and having to ask questions, it just felt like it was too much. Like, is it even worth the amount of money I'm going to save? And in my opinion, sometimes it's not. Money is something I want to save. Obviously, I have a whole YouTube channel about it at this point. So yes, I want to save money, but time is extremely precious too. So now I'm at the point where if a deal is becoming too complicated, I'm just going to put it off my plate. If it requires, me to download 2 more apps that I don't have, then that's just a deal that's not for me. I don't have to go for every single deal just because it's going to save me money. The next thing that deterred me from couponing, and this kind of goes hand in hand with what I just said, but I realized that the coupons were dictating my list and not me. So specifically when it comes to groceries, I realized I was ending up with stuff that I just wasn't really using. It's a brand that I don't like. It's a food item I don't really use in my particular cooking. It was just stuff I did not need and ended up being wasted. So yeah, I saved money on those products, but it would have been better to take that money and spend it on things I was actually going to use instead of just throwing away. So now my workflow is different, and I know how to plan my purchases better and make my list and then go to see where I can coupon. Now, don't get me wrong. I think there's nothing wrong with looking at coupons and then building your list. But for me personally, I find that in that situation, I will generally just buy things I don't actually need. And the last thing that deterred me from couponing was that I just didn't always have the time. And as I've already kind of touched on in this video, couponing can be extremely time consuming. There are a lot of terms to read. There may be things on the website you need to read. There may be things you need to cross-reference in store. You may get to the store and realize that that coupon is not the best deal, and now you're standing in the aisle comparing prices. It is just time consuming to do all of this stuff, to make sure you have a full inventory of what you have in your house before you make your list, to take your list and then cross-reference it with coupons, to then take that list and then cross-reference it with cashback deals. Like, it is a lot, to the point that I don't coupon every single trip, which might sound crazy because I have a whole YouTube channel called I Want to Save Money, but If there is a week where I just don't have a lot of spare time and I can't sit down and go through all of these coupons and all of these deals, then I'm not going to. I'm going to set a very strict budget. I'm going to stick to it, but I'm going to reserve those times where I'm going through all these coupons and going through the rebate apps and maybe looking at various websites to see what the best deals are for when I actually have the time to do it. So if you find yourself frustrated with the things that I listed here, a lot of that's going to come with experience. If you're not impressed by how much you're making, or if you feel like coupons are not really for you, or if you feel like you don't have the time, don't get me wrong. Couponing is not for everyone. So it may be something that's just not for you. But it also may just be something that you have to get used to a little bit more. It may be a situation where you really need to develop a system and a workflow that makes sense so that you do have the time to coupon. Having said all of that, I don't think I will ever be an extreme couponer. I don't think I will ever be so consistent and obsessed with couponing that I'm doing it for every single. But I do try to coupon as much as I can. It's definitely worth it to take the time, if you have the time, to just at least look and see if there are any deals available at that time for the store you're going to. My next video about saving money will be out on Wednesday. I will see y'all then.